Welcome to the SeriesPod podcast. I'm V.
And I'm Andrew. Get your favourite beverage ready and join our book club. Welcome back, listeners. Woo! Hello, it's Andrew and V. Very, very tired.
Welcome back to the SeriesPod podcast. We are slowly but surely making our way through it. And to start us off, as per usual, we're going to start with a summary. This is again very kind of small chapter, like the previous one. It's a bit better, but still a bit small.
What, are you saying just chapter 13 is a small chapter? Because I don't think a lot happens from then on. This is going to be a short episode.
No. This is one of those episodes that's going to be short, like the previous one.
Yeah, for sure.
This one, again, not a lot happens. But then, I feel like after chapter 15 is where all the action happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's a packed 5 chapters where we discover everything.
This book was... I don't think either of us like this book.
I mean, I just don't like the ending of the book. But
cool, I don't like the entire book, but it's alright.
Anyway, so the summary goes as follows. We get a solid suspect. Then we try to find some concrete evidence for that suspect. We get a big Angelini family drama. The commander apologizes for being a jerk. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Rourke comes back to Earth and takes Eve on a nice day of resting. Like a relaxing day. Like a spa day.
Yeah, because Rourke has been gone this entire time. Maybe that's why I don't like it, because there's just not enough excitement, you know?
Maybe.
All the story's trash.
Oh, it's one of those days.
It really is one of those days. I did not wake up on the good side of the bed this morning at 3 a.m.
Oh no, it's
yeah, I've literally slept for like 3.5 hours. 4 hours even. So, I'm doing what? That's a lot of caffeine, boy. Anyway. Chapter 13.
You're jittering. Stop making so much noise.
Sorry, I realized that there's gonna be fucking awful audio, like... Okay.
Our listeners, because you can't see, Andrew's literally jumping up and down on his seat.
I have had so much caffeine because it's the only reason I'm still awake. After this, I will be going to sleep.
Good. So, chapter 13. She's looking through the security video footage.
Hoping she'd see CJ Morse.
Yeah, aren't we all? So she's looking at it until she sees a car she has seen before. And David's face filled the screen as she enhanced the image of the driver. So he was there at the scene.
I know. I think I was completely wrong about CJ now. Because, like, he's already a suspect. So it's not looking good for him.
Not at all. She tells Feeney, and he asks who is going to tell the commander. She says that she will do it, because I think at this point it's, they're not on good terms, so she doesn't really mind.
Taking the brunt of whatever he's going to give, yeah. But she does ask for a delay. She doesn't want to tell him yet, because he'll probably do something to fuck it up.
Yeah, so she asks Feeney to cover up for her with the commander, and she goes on the search for David. When she gets to his apartment, right? So she goes to where he lives.
And then she sees a kid on a hoverboard doing some cool little tricks. Go little guy. And then he kind of insulted her, and not really at the same time. He basically said that she wasn't his usual snack or nibble, was it? And she was like, a nibble? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the kid was like kind of cheeky but also polite, like he prefers upper class older women and they frequently come over. And this kid lives across the road and he's spying.
Yeah, so he's David's neighbor, and he's spying on the whole street because he apparently likes to know what's going on. And he implies that David has loads of these nibbles coming around. So he tells Eve that he saw David leave at 8 p.m. Then another car pulling up around 12 p.m. The guy went in walking funny, but it wasn't David, right?
Yeah, it was. So that I read that weirdly as well. So it wasn't David, it was someone else. And the car is still there. But then when Eve knocks at the door, It says no one's there. And then David's the only one in the house. So I'm like...
Yeah. So where's the other guy?
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? Was it the other guy?
Because the kid said that... Where was it? He said he was trying to make his mind up whether to go in the house or not, but he did eventually. So there is someone in the house, but we never find out. So
yes. Then he says that he just got back from New York last night trying to play dumb.
yeah, he drove straight from the airport and came home. He lied about his whereabouts the entire time, and then he even tried to bribe Eve. I was like, out of all the police officers you could try, you chose Eve? Damn. But he also only tried to bribe her with 20k. Listen, if I was in her position, I'm not saying I would take a bribe, but I'm also saying I wouldn't take a bribe. I would be pushing for 100k plus, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work the rest of the year.
And then still charge him.
And still charge him. Yeah. And then while I'm searching through his property, I'm gonna jack some more shit.
I knew it.
Fuck this dude. You know me way too well. So it turns out he actually saw...
Yes, he saw her get killed.
His story seems a little vague. He's like...
Okay, right, yeah. So what he says is, he sees her getting killed, gets shocked, goes home, takes a sedative, and goes to sleep.
But then in that time, he was able to rearrange a meeting, which is why the reason that he was there. So he didn't call the police, he called the person he was meant to have a meeting with, like, hey, we need to delay.
Yeah, says, sorry, can't do it. Went home, took a sedative, went to bed.
Like, someone was just murdered in front of you. What?
Right?
But then he said that the killer ran off. Like, that was his thing. He was like, the killer ran away.
Yeah.
And I thought that was also quite important for what happens later in the book.
And that's how chapter 13 finishes. That's all we find out in chapter 13. Chapter 14 starts when she takes David into questioning at Cop Central and interviews him again, but officially. So in his apartment it was sort of unofficial, and now it's definitely official. So she's working him, trying to get him angry to see if the psychological profile would fit David so that he would get aggressive towards women.
He did stick to the same story, though.
Yes. So he doesn't fess up the story. She got a beep from Feeney, and we find out that Yvonne was making rather lavish requests from David, who was creating something with Channel 75, and they wanted Yvonne there to be their actress, and she was, making some ridiculous...
demands.
And he came to meet her personally at her apartment a couple of times.
Yes. So that was the clicking point. He knew everyone. So
all the evidence are just piling up. A suspect, he definitely did it.
Yeah.
That's what we're gathering here. He definitely did it. We don't have any concrete evidence yet, but...
Yeah, I think the only thing left is literally to find a knife. You know what I mean? Because he knew them. He was in all three places.
Yeah.
Because then even Feeney was like, he wasn't meant to be where Yvonne was killed. He wasn't meant to be there in the first place, but he did have a plane, and Eve knows that you can, if you pay the right people, you weren't there, technically.
We found that out in the last book.
Yeah.
So she goes back inside asking if he knew Yvonne. His lawyer didn't know about this, so his lawyer asked to stop and consult her client. So basically, he doesn't have an alibi, and all arrows point to him. So she sends him to Dr. Myra, because, that's the protocol. She arrests him, and he lunges at her. So she does provoke a reaction, and she waits until his hands close over her throat until she knocks him down.
I thought that was great. I like the bit where she was like, quite ironically, he went straight for the throat. This is not a kid defense for yourself.
So now they need, like you said, they need to find a knife now. They need physical evidence.
Yeah. But then Whitney finds out that they were interviewing David.
Yeah. So the commander caught a whiff of the action and demanded Feeney and Eve into his office. He obviously defends David, says he would never...
He goes to, I think, too far extreme lengths. He shouldn't... I see why people remove people from like certain situations. Like Whitney should have nothing to do with this case. He shouldn't be allowed near it because he is like, he's tried to skirt the law a few times. So, and now he's just taking shots at Eve. He's like, you have no compassion. What?
Yeah, he does another low blow. This is the second time already. But Feeney defends Eve and then tries to comfort her when they're out of the office, which
Yeah, he's a good man.
Feeney all the way. And he carries snacks.
Always
in his
carries
pocket.
snacks. Feeney's basically me. But I'm stupid. I just eat a lot. And then the sweep on the house. Is that where you're going next?
Yeah. That Eve joins them.
Yeah, so Eve didn't need to be there, but I think she either wanted to break the case or she wanted to find something and then, fuck up Whitney's day. That's how I would have felt anyway. Yeah.
I think she just needed she needed some closure because she's been so stressed about this, and the suspect is right there on her plate. All she needs is an evidence. So I think the adrenaline of that keeps her thriving through it.
Yeah.
She's definitely there. David's father was there as well, but she ignored his presence completely. They do find a knife, and Eve asks to scan it, and there's blood on it. Just a little bit, though. Then Marco Angelini, David's father, asked to speak with her in private. He really gave her a lot of grief and kind of hard. I did not appreciate it.
It felt like he was trying to scope how close she was to convicting David. That's how it felt. Like he was definitely testing something.
And then he takes the blame.
Yeah, I think as soon as people read this, like, he's taking the blame for this. Like, the way it's written, you're like, this is bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's bullshit. But he's taking the blame for his son.
He's such an idiot.
And that's how we end chapter 14. I told you, this is going to be such a easy breezy lemon squeezy
This is going to be shorter than the rest of them.
episode.
Yeah. Chapter 15. He's refused lawyers, but he did slip up in his story. Big surprise. So Eve was like, did you take anything from the crime scene? And he was like, nope. I thought about taking her purse. And then he ran away from Sisley Towers. Or Cecily, however you say her name. And obviously we know an umbrella was taken. And then with Yvonne, it was like, what was she wearing? And he was like, I don't know. But obviously,
So of course she doesn't believe him, right? Obviously, because like he doesn't know that the killer
as a reader you don't
umbrella
believe him
or anything.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know so much stuff. So obviously it's not him. She leaves the interview room and runs into the commander. She tells him that the story the guy is pulling is complete bullshit. And the commander asks to speak with him.
The commander doesn't just ask to speak with him. He asks her for no audio, no visual. Again, asking one of these bloody favors.
Yeah, but at this point he was like, whatever. Because she knows this is a pointless thing that he is doing. He's just interrupting her investigation. So all he's doing is giving her more headache because everyone knows he didn't do it.
She's just humoring him.
The commander asks Marco, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he basically tells him that what he's doing isn't going to work. But Marco stays on his story.
Yeah. And not once does Marco admit to him that... Well, he says all the right things to make him sound guilty, but then at the end he's like, what if it was one of your kids?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you stand behind them?
Everyone understands what he's trying to pull.
Yeah, but it's just fucking everything up.
Yeah, he's just being an inconvenience more than anything.
Yeah, literally.
The commander steps into Eve's office and he finally sort of sees her behind his stress and grief and actually looks at Eve and her state, which is not, a good state at this point at all.
No, I think she's been up for like 2 days at this point or something.
She's literally running on fumes.
Candy bars.
Even less than that.
Yeah.
And then he gets annoyed at her being sort of impersonally formal. Dude!
He wants to take cheap shots at her. wants to ask for favors that are not legal, and then what?
Absolute madness. But he does say one of my favorite sentences in this book, that when he looks around her room, her office, saying that it's very small and she deserved a better one, but she just stayed with this one. And it says that the room was so small that if 3 people were to come in, they'd be in sin.
Why do you like that one so much?
Because you definitely understand how small the room is.
Yeah.
Like, it's the perfect description. Because, you say a small office, I still imagine at least, I don't know, like 15 square meters.
15? Bitch. Oh, shit. How big do you think our uni classrooms were?
I have no idea.
Like 5. Still 15? Bitch, that's a whole hallway.
Really?
Yeah, that's huge. Although, I guess for an office, whatever.
But, like, I still imagine, she has her desk and she has some room to move around.
Yeah.
She probably has a window in there. Not like 3 people will be in sin if they come into her room.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move room because my washing machine is now draining and it's making a loud fucking noise.
Okay.
Right, I'm here. I hope that didn't fuck up the rest of the recording.
Hey guys, this is Editing Me. Oh, Andrew, if only you knew. I'm terribly sorry for this audio hiccup, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode.
So he makes a joke to, I suppose, ease the tension. It gets no reaction, obviously.
Yeah, she stares at him blankly.
Yeah, she just stares at him. He then starts saying something which I think would have been an apology of some sorts, but she interrupts him with the details of the case. And that happens 3 times until he raises his voice at her. But before he could get to his apology, Marina busts through the door very upset. She even shoves Eve before the commander or Slide could stop her. Okay, cut this up. Who the fuck is Slide?
Okay, we had the same question. I was like, do we know you?
Is it Randall Slide? Is that his last name? Can you check?
I can, yeah. It is Randall. And it's Slade. Oh, she actually mentions it, his full name, like, a lot of fucking times. I don't know how we haven't noticed this.
Oh.
Oops. Okay, so Randall's there. Hi, Randall.
So, there's a whole, oh my god, you ruined my family, me, I'm gonna ruin you type situation. And then she leaves, and Whitney asks Eve if she's okay. And she answers that she's dealt with worse, but inside, there was a storm brewing. Then she politely hints at the commander to leave, saying that she has a report to finish. He tries to smooth it out, but Eve threw back his words from one of those moments when he made a very low blow before.
Yeah, about having no compassion or whatever.
He took it though, saying he had it coming, which I think is fair.
He had more than that coming.
Yeah, and he did apologize. And send her to sleep, which, girl, she needs.
Yeah, she does. Stop eating candy bars and drinking shit coffee. Doesn't work.
She stayed staring at her screen until a shadow fell over her desk, and she was charged to yell at whoever it was. But it was Rourke.
Rourke turns up and she's pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, he came to her work and they exchanged the how was your day, how was your trip. His trip was less exciting than her day. He asks about the case and she tells him, and she feels better because Rourke is a very good listener.
She wanted Rourke there anyway.
And I think when she tells him about the case, she can hear herself better to sort of analyze the... Oh, the kitty cat.
Mid-sentence.
I know, but...
She saw Roland. She's like, oh, kitty cat. Mid-fucking sentence. Do you want to repeat that bit?
I don't know what I was talking about.
Oh my god. And now Rolo's stuck in the room because Tim closed the door.
So Eve doesn't understand Marco's motive for giving himself up, and Rourke explains that it's love. And it made me feel kind of sad for her because she really doesn't click that, parents
Yeah.
do that kind of stuff for their children.
Love their kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is quite sad, to be fair. Yeah.
And then he whisks her away. She asks where they were going. And he doesn't tell her, but he thought Mexico would be good. Just like that. New York, Mexico.
As you do, yeah. Just, let's just fly to Mexico tonight. Cool.
She sleeps through all of it on the plane. And she's so confused when they arrive.
Imagine he's like, we're just going to get on a plane and go somewhere. You're thinking like maybe New York. Like from New York, where are you going? LA? I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah.
Wakes up in Mexico.
So they have a talk. Oh, I've missed you and stuff. And she does confess that she stole one of his shirts and snuck out of the house so that Somerset wouldn't catch her. And then he fesses up that he replaced her transmissions before going to bed.
Oh, that's cute.
Like, oh my goodness. And she even says that, when did we become so sappy? And then one of them, I don't remember which one, says that I won't tell if you don't, that they became so sappy. And I thought it was a wonderful way to finish chapter 15.
It's a much nicer way to end the chapters.
Yeah. And it is also the end of this episode.
Indeed, it was a very short episode. Very, well, it was going to be short. When it's cut down, it's going to be short. We have fully wasted, I think 8 minutes laughing at stupid shit.
And me saying, Kitty, every time I see Roller.
And snacks.
And snacks.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on another episode.
We're available on all your favorite audio platforms, including Amazon Music.
If you like this episode, give us some love by liking, rating, or sending us a message.
And telling your friends about it, in case they'll like our podcast too. Ooh.
And we will see you next week, guys.
Indeed. Hopefully we'll be better slept.
Bye.